Good Sunday morning. Oh, hold on. Good Sunday morning. I was hearing myself in my earbuds. I was messing with my audio before I went live. Give me a 5x5 if my audio sounds okay. Give me a 10x10 if it sounds fucking amazing. I need to know. Welcome in and welcome back to Cooterville. My name is Jay. I'm your host today. Welcome back, guys. I hope you're having a great Sunday. What you got going on? I got some laundry done this morning. Ooh, it sounds good. Yay! Good deal, good deal. Because I listened to yesterday's and I was like, my mic kind of cuts out a little bit. Thank you for letting me know. What do you guys got going on this Sunday? Hey, Jane Doe. Thank you for 8 months of cootership. Good morning. She's been watching from the bushes. What you been thinking? What's on your mind? What are your thoughts? I'm really enjoying the comment section. Lawyer Lori actually commented on yesterday's video. She said you have this 100% correct. So we're going to watch a video of Lori's from 3 days ago. We're going to watch a little bit about that. I also have a clip from the Mormon stories because shamefully I started watching Lauren Matthias's episode. So I'm going to show you, like, this is kind of a wild story that I happened to hear as I had it playing in the background. So I'm like, I got to share that with them. Angie, I hope you feel better. Hartley, a member for 3 months. Loving this coverage. Jay, thank you, Hartley. Good morning, moderators. I see Amy C. I hope you're feeling better, Amy. Everybody's feeling under the weather. Angie B. We got the beautiful Sin, our troublemaker. We got Flobo in the house. And the real Kels was here early on. Thank you, guys. And thanks for all the kind remarks, you know. Hello, Miss Penny. Because this is really, you know, not only, we had this discussion before, and I'll shut up in a minute and we'll get to the show. But we had this discussion before where I had talked about, you know, where do I go with Jay is for Justice from here? Like, what kind of channel covering cases or true crime or, you know, cold cases, whatever the case may be, like, where do I go from here? Because the Idaho 4 changed my views on what should and shouldn't be put out there. So I'm still trying to grasp that, right? And then we come across this. And as I read your comments this morning, I was like, you know, you guys were like, thank you for being real. Like, more people need to just be real and stop being fake. And I look at all of these true crime creators that are actually labeled true crime, like Lauren, like Annie Elise, like, I don't know if I can even give any more examples because I don't watch any of those people. But I feel like I don't fit in that genre. Like, I've never, since CrimeCon started bringing victims in on the stage, I never had any interest in that shit. It's overpriced. It's a big marketing meeting. And now they've thrown victims in the mix. I don't fit in that group of people where I want to get all dolled up and look like something I'm not. So going forward, like, more like be yourself. I don't know what really how I want to approach it. So I'm kind of just waiting for some crime or something that catches my attention, whether it's new, old, unsolved, solved, to cover, because I have to be passionate about it and I can't be fake. And it's just like I'm trying to, you're always growing, you're always learning and all of that. So that's where I'm at. True crime and other stuff, right? And it's almost like you don't want to fit in. You don't want to be a part of that crowd. Like, I don't want to be cliquey. Like all these people got cliquey. Mike King and Annie Elise, like he gave her info from the FBI that Ethan's hamstrings were cut during the murder, and she came out with it all early. Like, I just don't get down with that. Like, these people are very cliquey, and I just don't fit in with that. So I am really glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that you like my style. You appreciate me, and I appreciate you right back. So I don't know. I'm just kind of torn because, like, my husband's like, why aren't you covering this on J for Justice? And I'm like, that's a really good question, because I've always tried to keep J for Justice more just facts, not really my opinion, if you will. So for me, it's like almost like I have J for Justice in this little bubble, and I'm just like, don't know what to do with it, because I don't want to cover like I used to. I don't feel comfortable with that anymore. So that's why I'm waiting for something that catches my eye. Like, okay, hey, sis, you should have been a detective. I get that we can't always agree, but I saw your comments in Trisha. You called me ignorant. And you started a bunch of fuck shit with Queen Bee nonsense and me. You called us all ignorant. Why'd you do that? If you don't agree with me, say it here. You don't have to go into Web Sleuth's chat and put me nonsense and Queen Bee on some platter, right? Our heads were on a platter. True Opinion channel. Interesting. I don't know. It'll come to me. Whatever. I just appreciate you guys and your patience as I figure myself out. Yeah, that's something I've done in the past, Melmo. That's something I have done. Kelly Mack, thank you for 3 months. Love you, Jay, and your authenticity is what keeps us. Thank you. I think I missed one more membership. Oh, no. Fasting for the scratch ticket fund. Love you. Love you too, Nicole G. We will get back to scratchers too. I think we need to do that. I've been slacking ever since I got sick. Hey, Shell. Good morning. Yeah, I got some messages. Yeah, they do. They do, Melmo. But it's because of the traction it gets. Like BJ said,
just help a brother out.
She covered cases and they were booming, and they didn't cover them because they weren't bringing in enough revenue. Thanks, Marie. Good morning, Sweet Jones. Vintage Mama. It's a little early, Chris. Are you ready to welcome them into Cooterville? He says yes.
Just help a brother out here.
Y'all welcome to Cooterville. Come on in, and remember, close your legs.
Aw, thanks, AD. That's really nice of you. I mean, we can disagree, sis, but damn, I mean, you went in there and started a whole shitstorm, and then everybody's like, why did they watch, well, who watched Jace for Justice? She's a bitch. Thanks, Proud Fur. Good morning, Tara Laboom. Stacy, you're a new one. I found your channel because of your coverage of this. I've enjoyed your honesty, and you've kept my attention longer than those other ones. I can't wait to see what you do. Thank you, Stacy. I don't know, Stacy, if you know I have another channel that, oh, nice, Melissa, that I do true crime on and stuff like that. Good morning, Cooters. Oh, stupid criminals. Stupid criminals are so fun. We could start that. Good morning, Megan. Thanks for coming in today, you guys. All right, so the first thing, thank you for letting me talk. I always love chit-chatting with y'all. Rex Hewerman will be super interesting. That's one I followed a lot. And, I think I'm so intrigued by this whole Lauren situation because I did watch her Daybell coverage. I watched her Delphi coverage. And now I'm questioning her reporting. Do it, lady. Do it, lady. Okay, so let's start off our coverage today with a member cooter from April, Miss April Taylor. Jay, thank you for speaking truth, reality. Thank you. They're trying to connect me with Nerdy and At Night. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. I am so done with all those people. Poor Sebastian. It's all a bunch of fucking drama. Now you got Nerdy, Addict, Sue, and Nick, and now Nick's going to be back in the spotlight. It seems like a fucking game. Ugh. But here we're going to go to Mormon Stories podcast for just a minute. And I want you guys to listen to this story that Lauren tells. And I'm not going to give you any preface to it. We're just going to listen. Then we'll talk and replay it, okay? Late 26 or 27 for Rex Hewerman? You missed Bajingo? We'll play Bajingo again.
Got to learn a lot. I read the Doctrine and Covenants multiple times. I love the Old Testament. That's my book. I actually didn't read the Book of Mormon very much in my mission. I'm not a big Book of Mormon reader. And one interesting thing though was there were Community of Christ members. That's the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. People that wanted to learn. There were Community of Christ members that wanted to learn. There were Rigdonites. So oftentimes we were teaching about Brigham Young and not Joseph Smith. There was a wide range of Mormonism. And there was one couple that we were teaching who were Community of Christ members, but they were actually Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints members and disliked how the Community of Christ had given women the priesthood because they wanted everything to be just like Joseph Smith. They wanted everything to be pure Joseph Smith. And so they got into the fact that they were interested in getting baptized, and we were teaching them, and it was going really well. And they also got into the fact that they were upset that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was saying that Joseph Smith was a polygamist because they did not believe Joseph Smith was a polygamist. They believed that it started with Brigham Young. And I thought, here I am full circle. I'm like, oh, here come my Google search results. And so we said, well, we really do think he was, according to some history books. So what did I do? So we left, and we scheduled another appointment to come back. They enjoyed talking to my companion and I, and we're really trying to search. And so I said, we have to go to the church building. We have to go get into it. It was a little branch. And I said, it was Chardon, Ohio. And try to get the list of Joseph Smith's wives. And
Okay, let me just stop here for a second because you guys might be lost. But she's talking about when she was young and she was on a mission. Thank you, Susie Stitches, and thank you, Fax. We all have your back. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. But she's talking about when she was on a mission. Oh my God. Joel Roberts. Do you have daughters? None of your business? Weird question. You really should be embarrassed by your speech, attitude, and actions. Your mouth is disgusting. It is so unattractive for women to speak the way you do with all the F-bombs. Oh, you don't like that? You want to hear a man say an F-bomb instead? You don't like women saying fuck directly off? Would you rather a guy say it? How about this?
C'est la vie, adios, fuck off and die.
There, that came from a guy, Joel. There's Scotty, baby. There he is. Hashtag FDO. Okay, so anyways, she's talking about when she was on a mission when she was younger, okay, in Ohio.
And bring it to them. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that was probably like the last thing they wanted, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, I've got to do this good deed for that.
I mean, what kind of guy comes into a chat and tells a woman, you don't sound good as a woman saying that? Who the fuck are you, dude? Yikes.
That'll convince them.
You're going to find it in the church library.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Of your local branch building.
Yeah, I remember we got the keys to the ward. It was late at night. The library was locked, but we knew how to break into the library. You get an extension
So she's breaking into the library. This was bizarre to me. Listen.
cord from the vacuum, and you remove the ceiling tile, and then you put the extension cord through the ceiling tile, and you twist the doorknob. We did it. We
like I've never heard of someone doing this. Have you? Thank you, Uncle Tim. Thank you, Uncle Tim. Have you guys ever heard of anybody doing this? Sis, can you tell me why you started all that crap in Web Sleuths? Come on. Thank you, Mavis. Your dog's really cute, by the way. Okay, thank you. I've never heard this. Ashley, women belong in the kitchen.
did it. And then you put the
I am man.
extension cord from the vacuum, and you remove the ceiling tile, and then you put the extension cord through the ceiling tile, and you twist the doorknob. We did it. We did it.
Wow.
And we got into the library. Well, it was all for a good cause. Like, we got into the library. Right. And we made ourselves comfortable in that branch library. And they had all of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints history books there. We just pulled them down and found it. We
did find it.
We found it. We found all of his wife's. And then we made Xerox copies of it. And like thinking that this is going to be like, here you go.
I'm dying to know what book in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he's questioning her. He says, I'm not questioning you, but I'm questioning you. How did she find that, though, Benny? Do you believe this story?
Lists Joseph.
We'll play it through without discussing, but I want to talk it through because I'm confused. Even though Benny, love me some Benny Long.
Joseph Smith's plural wives.
Well, this was 2000. This was 2002, 2003.
Could have been in Sacred Loan.
2003? What? You weren't a kid? Hold up. He's thinking it's the 90s. He's thinking she was a kid. Oh, shit.
But I'm just trying to imagine.
Well, it was like the
in
church.
Sacred Loneliness.
It was like it was the church history. It was it was like an encyclopedia. All the.
I know, but
all of the LDS.
I think we all felt like that history was hidden from us as Mormons. So normally we wouldn't have found. I'm not doubting you.
Yeah.
Because you found it, but I'm just saying I'm surprised because most of us reached our 20s and 30s not knowing that Joseph Smith ever had plural wives.
But she figured it out. This is so fun. Thank you, Flo, for your super chat. Why did the chicken cross the road? Balk, cuz? Or because? So she's the one that figured it out?
Right?
Yeah, well, I think that maybe that's like actually why I've always been a little bit of an apologist when it comes to people saying that, I wasn't taught that Joseph Smith was a polygamist, but when I wanted to know, I found it in the church building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think that I've always been like, well, no, it's there for people. Yeah. At least it was for me in this little tiny branch in Chardon, Ohio. Mm-hmm. You just had to use an extension cord to get in.
Yeah. And you mentioned having Fawn Brody's book in your home growing up.
Yeah. Fawn Brody's book, No Man Knows Our History, was on our bookshelf. I didn't know what it was.
Do you guys believe this? This is weird. Okay, I'm going to play it through so you guys can hear the whole story. Okay. Even the host didn't believe it. Okay, here we go. About Joseph Smith and his wives.
That wanted to learn. There were Community of Christ members that wanted to learn. There were Rigdonites. So oftentimes we were teaching about Brigham Young and not Joseph Smith. There was a wide range of Mormonism. And there was one couple that we were teaching who were Community of Christ members, but they were actually reorganized Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints members and disliked how the Community of Christ had given women the priesthood because they wanted everything to be just like Joseph Smith. They wanted everything to be pure Joseph Smith. And so they got into the fact that they were interested in getting baptized, and we were teaching them, and it was going really well. And they also got into the fact that they were upset that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was saying that Joseph Smith was a polygamist because they did not believe Joseph Smith was a polygamist. They believed that it started with Brigham Young. And I thought, here I am full circle. I'm like, oh, here come my Google search results. And so we said,
so she admits she already Googled it.
That it started with Brigham Young. And I thought, here I am full circle. I'm like, oh, here come my Google search results. And so we said, well, we really do think he was, according to some history books. So what did I do? So we left, and we scheduled another appointment to come back. They enjoyed talking to my companion and I, and we're really trying to search. And so I said, we have to go to the church building. We have to go get into it. It was a little branch. And I said, it was Chardon, Ohio. And try to get the list of Joseph Smith's wives and bring it to him. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that was probably like the last thing they wanted. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, I've got to do this good deed for them.
That'll convince them.
You're going to find.
So it was her good deed for the people that she talked to one time on a mission visit that made her break into the library.
Find it in the church library.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Of your local branch building.
Yeah, I remember we got the keys to the ward. It was late at night. The library was locked, but we knew how to break into the library. You get an extension cord from the vacuum, and you remove the ceiling tile, and then you put the extension cord through the ceiling tile, and you twist the doorknob. We did it. We did it.
Wow.
And we got into the library. Well, it was all for a good cause. Like, we got into the library. Right. And we made ourselves comfortable in that branch library. And they had all of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints history books there. And we just pulled them down and found it. We found it. We found it. We found all of his wives. And then we made Xerox copies of it. And like, thinking that this is going to be like, here you go.
I'm dying to know what book in the 90s lists Joseph Smith's plural wives.
Well, this was 2000. This was 2002, 2003.
Could have been In Sacred Loneliness, but I'm just trying to imagine.
Well, it was like the
Sacred Loneliness.
It was like the church history. It was it was like an encyclopedia. All the.
I know, but
all of the LDS.
I think we all felt like that history was hidden from us as Mormons. So normally we wouldn't have found. I'm not doubting you.
Yeah.
Because you found it. But.
He did doubt you. Yes, he did. He's like, fuck that. That shit was hidden from us. You didn't just find it on a shelf. He's like, you full of shit.
So normally we wouldn't have found. I'm not doubting you.
Yeah.
Because you found it. But I'm just saying I'm surprised because most of us reached our 20s and 30s not knowing that Joseph Smith ever had plural wives, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that maybe that's like actually why I've always been a little bit of an apologist when it comes to people saying that, I wasn't taught that Joseph Smith was a polygamist, but when I wanted to know, I found it in the church building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If it was hidden from all the church members, she just happens to be the one that found it. Miss Budding, true crime guru. All right. Now, for the meat and potatoes of today's stream, we have Lawyer Lori. Lawyer Lori, I will not put up with any negative comments about how Lori looks or how old she is. Okay? I'm saying that, prefacing that, because she hasn't done anything wrong. There's no reason to criticize this lady. I'm actually grateful that this video is still up so we can get another side of things, because Lori was at CrimeCon. Lori was sitting in the bar. Oh, that's a good question, Pretty Hate. Those would be worth some bucks. You kind of wish you had the typewriter. It's pretty cool, huh? But anyways, Lori was sitting at the bar with Anjanette Levy, Christina, and I don't know who else. Maybe she'll tell us. But she was in the bar when the cops were called. Grayson and Lori felt scared for their lives. I think she looks great too. I love her. I love the lawyer aspect from her. Okay, I don't love her because I don't know her. But she was there. This is an eyewitness account, right? Breaking chains. Good live yesterday. However, I'd be careful. Well, I'm not going to say I'd be careful. I take that back. I'm not warning you of anything. The reason that I didn't stick around and chat was because Vanessa was in there, and Vanessa was a part of getting my segment removed from Dateline. So I can't defend someone who does that to someone else. I really don't care what Lena put her through. And that's just my thoughts. She did some shitty shit to me. I know, babe. I know. I didn't mean that like warn you. It kind of triggered me in a way. Because she's the big victim, you know. Anyways, moving on. This is, and it's good to see you, Lynn. Right. I got it. All right, here we go. So this is Lori.
So you can see their reaction.
Hold
Those
on.
are true acts of stalking.
Okay, so in the beginning of this video, we're starting at 53 minutes in. She talks about true acts of stalking. She gives examples and stuff like that. So here's the link if you guys want to watch this entire video. Oh, okay. So what comes around goes around, eh? Okay, so here we go. We're going to hear about CrimeCon.
Talking about somebody online is not. So now let's talk about someone else who is trying to use these same tactics. Remember, I'm only telling my side of what I experienced and what I know. We've been dancing around this for a long time, but I'm going to tell you what's in the public record and what I experienced. A couple of weeks before CrimeCon, a woman named Christina MacArthur reached out to me. She told me that she'd been a friend of Lauren Matthias of Hidden True Crime. They were friends for about a year, and over that year, she started seeing some red flags about how Lauren treated former friends and associates, including me. Christina had started posting TikTok videos in which she talked about how a friend had turned out to be toxic. Most of the videos didn't identify Lauren by name. One had a recording of her voice, and one was video of Lauren caught during a hot mic moment outside a courthouse. I had nothing to do with the making of any of those videos. So Christina told me she and several other people who were former friends of Lauren's were going to be going to CrimeCon. And they were telling me that they felt bad about the way that they had rallied to Lauren's side and taken as gospel all of the things that Lauren was saying about me. And they were kind of apologetic about it. And so we chatted. I think I talked to Christina once on the telephone and a few DMs exchanged. And so we were both going to CrimeCon, and she said she wanted to meet me. So Christina and I met the first evening that I got there. And when I got there, she told me that Lauren had filed a stalking order against her in Utah. Now, Christina lives in Utah. Lauren does not live in Utah. Christina lives in Utah. Lauren went to Utah and swore out a stalking order complaint against Christina. Lauren and Christina, from what I understand, had been in the same place a couple of different times because they were both attending trials. But other than that, they don't live close by and they don't socialize anymore. So she told me that Lauren had filed for a stalking order and that they had attempted to serve her at her home, but she wasn't home. The next morning, which was Friday morning, the beginning of CrimeCon, Christina told me that she was served with this order in Colorado. Now, I did criminal and family law, and I have seen a lot of stalking and domestic violence orders in my. When I read the order, I thought it was outrageous. Lauren was alleging that she was in fear for her safety because Christina had posted negative things about her on TikTok. Because the orders are issued ex parte, never had the opportunity to tell her side of the story to a judge. Lauren demanded, and the judge ordered, that Christina not be permitted to be anywhere near Lauren, her family, or her employee. At Lauren's demand, the judge also ordered that Christina was not to post anything online about Lauren. That's a clear violation of Christina's First Amendment rights.
Okay, so what do you guys think so far? I think she knows her stuff, and I think that she thinks it's, honestly, I think she's pissed that the court system is being utilized in this way. Thank you so much, Always the Vibe, for your super chat. Your shows are always fantastically entertaining, no matter what the content is about. You are original and seriously funny. Let it shine. Games like Bajingo are amazing. Keep on keeping on, Jay. Kicking ass. Thank you so much. That's so nice. Thank you. This is Lori Hellis, a.k.a. Chasing Justice, and she was at CrimeCon, and she's had dealings with Lauren, and I guess she was talked shit about. Shannon K., welcome to Cooterville. Come on in and close your legs. Thank you for becoming a member today, Shannon. Really, B. Tim? That's wild.
So, because the restraining order, the CrimeCon organizers told Christina that she couldn't participate in any of the CrimeCon activities, or she couldn't be in the CrimeCon space, even though Christina had purchased a very expensive VIP ticket for the weekend. They couldn't, however, keep her from staying in the hotel. On Saturday evening, I was having a drink in the bar with several people, and Christina was there. The bar in this hotel is huge, and there was plenty of room for everybody and plenty of space for everyone. It was busy. There were a lot of people there. They had the awards night, and it had just let out. So there were lots of people coming to the bar afterwards. While we were sitting there, we saw Lauren's minion, the person she claims is her producer, cruise through the room at least once. And it was really clear that she was looking for somebody. She was checking out the crowd, and this wasn't just casual. She was looking for somebody. Not long after that, the local Aurora, Colorado police showed up and called Christina away in a conversation. It was really embarrassing for Christina. And after a conversation for a few minutes, they told Christina she had to leave the bar because Lauren wanted to come in.
Okay, I'm going to pause there for a second. Flappy Pants, thank you for 1 month of cootership. Where does close your legs come from? Thank you. It comes from another creator accusing me of having affairs on my husband, and she called my lady parts a cooter. So we created Cooterville because we're not salty. We don't file lawsuits. We laugh. We have fun.
She says, "Welcome
Close
to
your legs.
Cooterville. Everybody, close your leg. Everybody coming in, close your legs.
Close your legs.
So she pauses here, or we paused at where the police come and tell her she has to leave. So let's watch that again, okay, for full context.
I think it's going to be longer than we thought it was going to be. And Grayson, you're rocking it. How's your back doing? If you need to take a break and you need me to put on, and we're here for the long haul. Okay.
Do you mind if I see your ID real fast?
So glad I was feeling like that today. Until I get out my snackies. Okay, hold on. One sec. Gotta unload. We're gonna start this over because there's one where they approach her. We're gonna look for it, and yeah, we'll do it after this one. So really quickly, this isn't in order. We have a video for when they approach her, and we don't have the video right now, so we're gonna watch this, and then we'll just go back to that one. Maybe I did. Oh yeah. There you go.
All right, ma'am. Do you know what's going on here right now?
I mean, I can make a lot of assumptions, but I'm assuming yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you mind if I get a good phone number for your
Yeah,
request?
area codes. I called you guys yesterday too.
Did you? Okay. 615.
Yes. This one's. This is. Yes. I called you guys yesterday. I had a feeling this was like she was gonna pull this.
Okay. So we just don't want to blindside you, right? We just want to make sure
Yeah.
everybody's on the same page, okay?
No, I mean like to what like I obviously only know like what has happened like at my house.
Okay.
Like with that, but
Is
like
that,
I
is
don't.
that like in Utah or?
Yeah, I live in Utah.
Okay. Sorry, can I finish getting in front of you?
Sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
I have yeah, I mean ask me questions. I don't know. You just tell me where to go.
No, I mean, so,
Long story short, you're being served with a protective order.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to come within 500 feet of the respondent. You're not allowed to go to the convention. You can stay at the hotel, but you cannot go to the convention or 500 feet.
Question. I had these tickets booked since last June.
If you violate it, the judge's order, we will arrest you and you have to go to jail. We don't have a choice about that.
No, that's fine. I'm just asking questions. I know you're doing your job. 100%. I'm not crying because, you know, it's just a lot of five-player freeze. Okay, so I understand you're doing your job. Can I ask questions?
Yes.
About it?
Here's a copy of it for you.
I already have. I have a picture my husband sent me yesterday.
We'll leave you with a physical copy.
Yeah, just because we have to give, the physical copy to you, that way you have for your records, and then we have to give one to our record department as well.
So, can I fight this here?
No.
This is going to be a Utah-based.
Yeah, so my question is, I've had these tickets since last June. She knew that. She never did. I ended my friendship with her in April. It's the last time I ever spoke to her. Initially, she's messaged me. I have police reports of her harassing me. I'm going to literally be fighting this. That's not the issue. The issue is I've had these since last June. When I ended my friendship, she didn't have tickets here at all. She knew I was coming here. With that said, why am I getting punished when
I've had these tickets. I'm sure they can look it up. For much, you know what I mean? I'm sure they can look it up. But like, this is.
And so I don't know if that's like something you can take up with them as far as like maybe a reimbursement or however you guys are trying to deal with that end, but that's going to be like civil on that side, right? So
No,
we're just delivering the protection order, okay?
Yeah, I'm just asking, like, do you think, like, what can I do? Like, I'm here with my friends. Like, you know, that's sorry.
Like I said, they're not kicking you out of the hotel, but you can't come to the Crimecon, right? So you can stay at the hotel.
I know,
but just as long as you stay away from.
Like, I have my friends who are about to go on stage and present, and I can't see that either.
I'm sorry, but that's
no, I know. Wait, so
situation that we're in.
I know it's.
And this looks like, after reading it, it's a no contact order.
Oh, I've never contacted her.
So, but there's other people listed in it that you are not allowed to contact.
I never saw other people.
It's in the,
wouldn't have
on the
even
second
talked
page.
to anybody that like she know like never.
Okay.
But my point is, I've done nothing wrong. I have like her history of her pulling this stuff before with other police reports.
So when you go to court for this, because you're gonna have a court date.
No, it just sucks. This is like.
I understand, and I understand the frustration with it, but what the judge signs off on.
How did they get a signature on something that's not even?
My partner and I can't deviate off this. So if anything's violated in this, from what the judge says, we have a legal obligation. We have to enforce
please
it.
do, and I'm not asking you not to.
So we'd hate for something like this to happen where you get arrested over this.
This was approved?
I would hire an attorney and have your attorney go through it and go to
No, but like, how was this?
Can you imagine someone getting an ex parte against you and you travel out of state and they want to have you fucking put in jail for posting mean things on the internet about them? Do you really think that Lauren deserves professional contacts after doing this? Oh, and by the way, Lauren said 408 times in the 9-hour live. 408 times stalker. She called this girl stalker 408 times. That's fucked up. That's wrong.
Because these, like, I have done literally.
It's an application process. It's an application that's done through the judge.
I know, but like, I want to, like, how do I find? Because I might be at crimecon, but I'm a rookie, so like, obviously she had to say something to be able to get this signed.
It's an application process that has to go through. You go to court, you apply for it. If the judge deems that it's necessary, the judge will grant it.
Okay.
So whatever she put in the application and whatever evidence she presented, the judge obviously agreed with it and issued it.
Okay.
So you do have a court date for it. It doesn't show it on here. I would reach out to the county and find out when the court date is. And then you can go to court and you can explain everything. And
I know, this is why I came. I came to your office in Aurora yesterday to avoid all this because
we
literally, like,
the
this
police
is like me having plans to go somewhere and someone else following me here and then telling me I'm the stalker.
Well, I'm sorry that this happened,
Like,
but unfortunately there's nothing we can do.
I know.
And so this is, if you reach out to Utah, this looks like the case number that all the information regarding this protection order is going to be under okay. I'm going to give you a business card. This is a case number that we're going to write our report under. We're just going to say that it's really you, okay? That's why I had to get your ID. Just so
I understand. I
identified you and so okay.
I respect what you do. Thank you. I'm not mad at you at all. I just have questions and like thank you for answering what you could. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It sucks, but
fortunately, Utah is great.
See, and she's not being an asshole about it. She's saying, I know it's not your fault and this and that.
Laws, anti-slap laws. Like, we're on my vacation. We're on anti-slapping on this one. But, okay. So tell me what, I don't obviously want to go to jail.
Right.
So I can be in my hotel room.
Yeah.
And can I hang out, like, in the bar with my friends at night?
as long as it's not the Crimecon convention and you're not within 500 feet of her or the other named parties that are on this.
let me see, because I didn't see, like, when the one they sent me,
It
like,
shows these are all the people you're not allowed to come in contact with.
And
oh,
then
so
you
just a
can't
general,
contact
like, blanket
person.
statement, she could say anyone is a business
Like I said,
coworker.
we don't have access to what they happen in the Utah courts.
Yeah. I wonder how I go about that.
I would hire legal counsel and
No, yeah, thank you.
go that route. They can get all the stuff that they need and go from there.
Yeah? Okay. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys, that you have to come down here to do this today.
No problem.
Uh,
I'd rather have you
I
have it.
tried to, like, save you some time yesterday, because
We'd rather explain it to you. That way you know what you can and can't do instead of accidentally violating it.
yes,
And then, like I said, even if it's accidentally violated, we still have to arrest you.
no, totally. And by all means, I'm open. I like,
You should be here on vacation and
No.
enjoy what you can, right? So.
yes, no, I respect what you do. That would be, I don't want to make you guys do that at all.
And that's the last thing we want to do.
Yeah. Any questions for me that I could? Okay.
I would just read through it, know what you can and can't do, and just use those as guidelines and don't violate it. Because it's no contact, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit.
I've never even
It's
contacted
all
her.
listed in there.
I know, I've never, like, literally not one time ever, since ending my friendship with her, have I contacted her at all, other than a response to a message she sent me.
If like she reaches out to you by any means, then just try to form some type of documentation where like, hey, I'm not allowed to contact you, don't contact me.
No, I'm not even going to talk to her back.
Don't
No,
even
dude.
reply.
I don't even, no.
What I would
I'm
do
like,
is if you start getting messages from her texting you, stuff like that, report it.
Yeah.
Get a report number, document it so that
Oh, yeah.
so whatever messages are sent or phone calls can be uploaded into digital evidence. That way there's a record of it that she reached out to you, you're not reaching out to her or any of the other people that are in there.
oh.
Because it's no contact
Believe
on
me.
your end.
No, I'm.
So
don't-
even if you
Hey,
replied,
I don't even, nothing. I'm not even, no.
yeah, because even if you reply to her saying, I gave you a temporary protection order, and you say, yeah, I know, you just violated it because you responded to her.
That's so true. Okay. That's so.
So you
that's
don't
good to
wanna-
know. I'm not planning on that.
I'm
but-
just telling you
no,
so
no, I
you
know.
know, so
no,
that
I'm
way-
so glad you do. Keep telling me all the things I need to know. I don't want to accidentally. Golly, heck no.
It's just the CrimeCon from the 5th through the
How come?
7th,
How come?
and 500 feet within her, and the internet stuff and phone calls is what I saw in there. But I'd read over it, to make sure that you're good with it.
Yes, dude. I'm ready. She's the one harassing me and gets to pull this. Yeah, I have I've kept like a binder of all of her, even the Utah law around that, just because I was a little worried. Like my husband said that someone came to the house yesterday.
Yeah, Trisha was at CrimeCon. She had pictures with John Ramsey. Thank you, B. Tim. Again, who is this judge? LOL. Like, who writes a no contact order for not only one person, but unknown business relations of that person? That could be anyone, even the person she bought pizza from. That's so true. What the hell? Yeah, they need to take a break from crime. Yikes. Right? She could be baited and then arrested, right? Ugh. This seems really contrived.
And I was like, well, looked up Utah law to make sure I wasn't breaking any laws by being here. And that's why. Anyway, I went to Utah law and it said it had to be served directly to me. So that's why. And I called an attorney this morning and she was like, just live your life. Essentially, I'm just here being with my friends. It's just unfortunate. But
actually, Body, if you Google their names, and I didn't click on the links, but if you Google Lauren or John, there's several lawsuits that come up, and I don't know if they're resolved or not because I didn't click on them and go deeper. But I'm not sure how much litigation they're involved in.
Sorry. It's okay. Do you have any other questions?
No. Okay. No. I think you answered them.
Okay.
Do you guys have a phone number I can call if I do think of any?
So
oh yeah.
My contact information is on there as well as my email address.
Okay. Just because don't know. You know, right now I'm clearly, for some reason, emotional.
We're working here
So, ruining my makeup.
Well,
Yeah.
we're sorry we did that.
No, not you guys. My freaking body around that, crying. Yeah. No, I mean, there was one moment yesterday where I saw her immediately went to security and got behind her. I mean, I got not behind her, behind the security guy, just to say, you don't want me around that woman.
No, I understand.
So,
and you can also, if the harassment keeps going that way, you can apply for a protective order against her. It's your right as well.
I kind of wanted to do that yesterday too. That's why I was trying to I have the report for that yesterday, just because I'm like, dude, I'm all but literally done for harassing me. It's dumb. Not dumb with you, dumb that someone else uses the police as a weaponizing police. And I'm just talking out loud. Anyway, okay. So I need to tell my friends. And can I just go? I don't want to be it's kind of embarrassing to be escorted. Can I walk with them, like outside? Like, can I walk with them out?
To the hotel.
To like just the hotel, like my elevator?
We'll go talk to them. I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
That way you're not being escorted by us. That's fine.
She'll take pictures of that.
Okay. Well, we'll ask Mr. Luis if he'll do that. Would you be willing to escort her back to the elevator so she can go to the hotel room? I'm sorry, I didn't catch. Oh, would you guys be willing to?
So they take people from CrimeCon to escort her? I'd be like, nah. That's fucking weird. Who is this guy? Security for CrimeCon. What a bunch of horse shit. Lauren wanted her to be fucking embarrassed. Escorted through the fucking CrimeCon. Ugh. That makes me sick. Why would you want that for someone? Look, CrimeCon. Right, why she's allowed to stay in the hotel. Let her friends fucking take her.
Okay. Well, we'll ask Mr. Luis if he'll do that. Would you be willing
I'm with
to
you,
escort
B
her
Tim.
back to the
I'm with you, B Tim. Fuck CrimeCon.
elevator so she can go to the hotel room? I'm sorry, I didn't catch. Oh, would you guys be willing to escort her back to the elevator so she can go to the hotel room so she's not being escorted by the police? That's her only request.
Of course.
He'll escort you to the room, to the elevator. That way we're not walking you there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll catch up with you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You guys can decide what you think of that.
Yeah, sure. Say 408 times that she's a stalker. A dark side con. The body cam Lauren put out is a horrible advertisement. Right? Right. Remember the other body cam Lauren plays where she and Grayson are talking to the cops and Lauren explains she's looking down. Oh, yeah. You guys want to watch that part? Let's watch that part. She plays Lori. Too many fucking Loris in this situation. Here it is, right here. She had both angles, remember? Here we go.
On TikTok. What unstable person might act on those false accusations, or what stranger might call her husband's university with outrageous claims? She has to watch over her shoulder whenever she appears in public, unsure if someone is following her. The stress of waiting for the next attack has robbed her of sleep and placed tremendous strain on every aspect of her life. Lauren is not a dramatic person. She does not exaggerate.
Okay, that's Trisha's statement. Let's fast forward.
Of someone's work is one thing, but setting into harm harassment sincerely. Let's not unsubscribe from anyone. We don't do that. If you want to support,
go subscribe to Wesley. Listen.
Questions sincerely, Patricia Griffith. Go subscribe to Web Sleuths too. Let's not unsubscribe from anyone. We don't do cancel culture here. Web Sleuths too. Sincerely.
She don't want to lose subscribers.
Patricia Griffith. Go subscribe to Web Sleuths too. Let's not unsubscribe from anyone. We don't do cancel culture here at Hidden True Crime, but we do support one another. If you want to support, go support Susan. Go support Web Sleuths. Okay. This is Let's find out what this is important. Guys, okay, this is really important. Bear with me. This is what I'm thinking. I have to use the restroom. Do you remember that one body cam footage thing that we never shared? Why don't you put that on? You guys can watch the other angle of us, and I'll run to the restroom, and we're going to dig into this because this next thing is really important. And I'm wiggling. I've had a lot of water, and my mouth is still dry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm nervous.
Lauren and I'm Grayson.
Okay. So, did you get a copy of this yet?
Yeah, we provided them to you guys. We have
Okay,
copies.
so you already have a copy? So we'll give you another copy.
Okay. Hi,
So-
sorry. There was somebody walking by that
He's friends with her.
is friends with her, so I just wanted to look down for a second. I apologize.
My partner and I, we explained everything to her, what she can and can't do, where she can be and can't be. And we thoroughly explained if she does violate it, she will be arrested.
Thank you.
So,
And she understands.
yeah, we gave her, it's official, we served her, gave her a copy. I already have the NCIC hit. We just got to call our records and say that we served her with a copy of it.
Okay. Thank you,
I'll
guys.
get you a business card. We just got to write a quick little report that we sent it, and then
Thank you, Chroma Chronicles, for bringing in your peeps. Welcome in, Chronicles. Oh, it's very disturbing, Ashley. It really is. Yesterday, we really all got kind of in a place where we didn't want to be and didn't expect to be. Yeah.
you can have
See her eyeing.
your records.
Thank you, officers or detectives. Sorry, I don't know.
Officers.
Okay.
Why is she smiling like that? The lady in the white dress. I don't know. Why is she so happy? She doesn't look scared. She looks happy. Wow. Is she flirting with the cops? Lauren's smiling too. What's going on here? How embarrassing. You're in the fucking lobby of CrimeCon.
What were your guys' names? Yeah. Vaughn and Raymer? Thank you, guys. Thank you, officers. We
She got their fucking name. Volvin and Raymer. Look at this. Watch. Watch this. This is crazy.
Okay. What were your guys' names? Yeah. Vaughn and Raymer?
You're not at the bar, sweet pea. You know? Woo.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, officers. We appreciate where we're at. You guys have. I was talking to Bobby Joe this morning. I was like, this is the first people that have listened to us. And
Well, we got information emailed to us the other day,
yeah.
so we kind of already had a heads up.
They had a heads up. They got an email. OMG. What? Who emailed the cops?
We got information emailed to us the other day,
Yeah.
so we kind of already had a heads up of what was going on.
Yeah.
So
Holy fuck. Who else would email them? Wow, man. Little bit of leakage. I wonder if it came from a Proton email. They're both like, yeah, like they didn't know. Watch.
Well, we got information emailed to us the other day,
Yeah.
so we kind of already had a heads up of what was going on.
Yeah.
So, but with these, they're not official until you put a copy in somebody's hand.
Right. Right. And that's happened now.
So now she has a copy of it. I left it with her. So
Okay.
They know that she has been told she can't go to CrimeCon and she is Christina. Good morning, Pines.
Thank you. Thank you.
Real fast, do you mind if I just get your, you have like an ID? Sure. Like I said, just so I can put it in there.
Absolutely, I understand. Yeah, just.
And we all, and it's a no, it seems
Thank
like
you,
it's a no
B-Tim.
contact order, so it's not allowed phone, internet, any of that stuff.
Oops. Sorry about that. This, I have this and a driver's license. Do you have a preference?
Whatever. Driver's license. Perfect.
Okay. Oh, and there's a checkbook out the top.
And then real fast, if I could just get your phone number. Or the phone number I called works.
The phone number, pardon?
The phone number I just called, does that one work for you?
That one, that's my producer, Grayson. He's on there. I'm the, what do you call it, the person that his name is official. So they have your phone number. Do you want to give them mine too? Probably Lauren Matthias. Okay. And it's, on the table for someone to see it. I don't want to. It'll do more. I'll put it here. It'll do more work. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yep, like I said, we're just going to write up a quick little report that was
Thank you.
Thank you, Marbella.
And then she is aware that it's no phone contact, like I said, so if there's any messages that are sent, emails, anything like that, that's a violation of it.
Yeah, she's been putting threats on social media, but I think that it's on there. It's
Yeah, she's not allowed to do any of that.
Okay. And she knows no TikTok?
She knows everything.
She knows no TikTok. Look at them. We triumph. We are triumphant.
Not allowed to do any of that.
Okay. And she knows no TikTok?
She knows everything. I said it's
She was given a copy. Yeah.
I said it's a no contact order. I said read over it. Whatever the judge puts in here, we can't deviate from it, and we'll be arrested if you violate this.
Okay. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you, officers. I appreciate it.
You guys have a good time.
Thank you. We shall relieve. Thank you.
Okay, so Lindsay wants to hear her explain this, so we're going to listen for a couple minutes.
All right. Okay. Next thing, it's important because I kept saying throughout this thing, we're going to cover some things. All right. About police reports and what was really going on with police, because I'm being accused of abusing the law, of abusing police, making false police reports. So,
whoa, we showed the false police report several times where she initially had Grayson call and say that they were being extorted by people online. Then when the cop got there, Lauren proceeded to say that her iCloud, her emails were hacked. And then an hour later, in the same report, Lauren corrected herself and said there was no hacking. There was nothing like that. So it is false.
Let's get into this. This is it's a big deal. This is
because thank you, Robin.
The respondent through counsel, meaning my stalker, filing this memorandum in opposition for the request of a civil stalking injunction. This is why she feels it's unnecessary. And we'll just read it. And I'll pull.
She's not really explaining it. Maybe that was the other clip, Lindsay. If you can get me the timestamp, we can come back to it. So we're going to go back to Lori right now. Okay. And we're talking about Christina had to leave. Here we go.
Really embarrassing for Christina. And after a conversation for a few minutes, they told Christina she had to leave the bar because Lauren wanted to come in. So Christina left. One of the people sitting with us was Anjanette Levy from Law and Crime. So bing bang. That's all I really know about that instance. I finished my drink and went to my room. And I left the next day about noon when CrimeCon was over. I didn't have many other conversations other than the fact that I knew that Christina was going to go home and file for a hearing on the issue of this
Thank you, Sherry.
stalking order. So in the stalking order, Lauren claimed that she was being caused severe emotional distress because Christina's mere presence in the hotel. And I'll get to that. In some of her affidavits, she claimed that she was being caused severe emotional distress because Christina was in the hotel. So when Christina got back to Utah, she engaged a lawyer and filed for a hearing so the judge could get to the bottom of the allegations. Now, the Utah law says that a person commits the act of stalking if the person intentionally or knowingly. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court talks about reckless being a mental state for the law, but Utah says that that it has to be intentionally or knowingly. Those are both mental states that require somebody to do something proactively. It's not just that it recklessly happens. Engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual and knows or should know the course of conduct would cause a reasonable person fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of a third party, or would cause that person to suffer emotional distress. So stalking orders have always been sort of a fine line because they absolutely.
So MB, you think that Christina should have went to jail for having an opinion on Lauren? Even though she didn't mention her name?
Impact people's free speech. And it really is where civil law and criminal law kind of intersect. So the Wednesday I got back from CrimeCon, I, on my own, because I'm a grown-ass adult, did a live where I talked about what had happened at CrimeCon. I also told you all for the first time about what Lauren had done to me, including that she got a hold of an advance copy of my manuscript of my book on the Vallow case, and without permission, sent it to her followers, and that she then harassed my publisher, claiming that I'd used her materials, and tried in general to interfere with my business relationship with my publisher and undermine the success of my book.
Yeah, that's not cool. That is not cool at all. She thought that this woman stole her work, and she felt entitled to do what she did.
So I told you all about that. Well, a hearing was scheduled on the stalking order between Lauren and Christina MacArthur. And one of the things that Lauren accused Christina of doing is of putting me up as a third party to doing something that Christina wasn't allowed to do.
Oh, wait, let me hear that again. So the hearing was scheduled for the stalking order. Okay, here we go.
A hearing was scheduled on the stalking order between Lauren and Christina MacArthur. And one of the things that Lauren accused Christina of doing is of putting me up as a third party to doing something that Christina wasn't allowed to do.
Oh. So Lori the lawyer was named as a third party. She was accusing Christina of putting this woman up to do something for her.
So she accused Christina of violating the stalking order because of my live.
Yep. Just like that, Tammy.
Because of that, Christina's lawyer subpoenaed me. Lauren also claimed so I saw these
Shit, she cut out right there.
Mm.
It's her video cuts out right there. Dang it, unless she edited it.
So I saw these pleadings, these declarations, because they involved me. They involved,
oh my God, BJ's CPS. I said the same thing.
Lauren accusing Christina of having put me up to doing something that she was forbidden to do under the stalking order, which absolutely wasn't true. In those declarations, Lauren also claimed that she was under such horrible emotional distress that she was thinking about hurting herself because of Christina's posts.
B. Tim, thank you for your super chat. Oh my God, this sounds like what BJ was trying to do with the RO against Clutis. I'm just going to say Clutis. So anyone associated with them will try to violate the RO. I wonder if she got that idea from Lauren. Isn't that wild?
This is a tender subject for me. Those who know me well know that someone very close to me took their own life. And it was an incredibly traumatic experience for me. It had far-reaching impact on my life. And nothing makes me angrier than somebody making those types of claims for clout. Now, do I know her state of mind? I don't. But I'm very suspicious given the circumstances. And I am very resentful of anyone who makes that sort of threat as a way to manipulate people. That's my emotional baggage. So the court set a hearing for September 22nd. Christina's lawyer subpoenaed me because of this allegation. And so I attended the hearing by Zoom.
It is her business when she's being accused of being a third party that's causing Lauren to be suicidal. She should be. It is 100% her business. And she witnessed the bullshit at CrimeCon.
They didn't get it, but I was I was present during the entire hearing. They could not, the judge had two people who were from out of town, who were people who had been at CrimeCon with Christina and who had also been friends with Lauren, who were there to testify. So they took their testimony. But it was clear that this hearing was going to probably take the better part of a day. And so the judge didn't have enough time to hear the whole thing and then continued it until October 16th. That's today. The hearing actually is that.
That's a really good point to mention too. This woman was Lauren's legal expert on her channel for a year. So she can. They were quote unquote associates. She was on there for a year, unpaid.
Tomorrow, I can't even keep track of the days. It's tomorrow. And so the hearing was continued until October 16th, which is tomorrow. During that hearing, Lauren stayed out of the courtroom, claiming that she was traumatized and demanding that everybody leave because she felt threatened by Christina and her friends being in the courtroom. The judge refused, saying that the court's open to the public, and the judge heard the two out-of-town witnesses and rescheduled the remainder of the hearing. Last week, there was a media request to cover the hearing. Lauren and her attorney filed really vociferous objections to allowing the media to cover that hearing. And over those objections, the judge granted the media request and permitted, you guessed it, Law and Crime to cover the hearing. Yesterday, on the 14th, Lauren's attorney filed a motion to continue the hearing, and the judge denied the motion. Now, one of the things that the judge talked about at the September 22nd hearing was the fact that this was going to take a long time, and that they were expecting that Christina McArthur's free speech rights were going to continue to be violated, and they wanted that order to continue. The judge did modify the order, saying that Christina was allowed to post on social media, and she wasn't precluded from that.
Okay, so the judge did say she could post on social media.
So yesterday, after the judge was very get this case heard, because he had some real concerns about whether or not Christina's rights were being violated by continuing the order.
Right. Judges don't want to let this RO, after giving a temporary, to just sit there. These are, you're supposed to be in danger. This is not something that judges want to keep continuing. Why would Lauren keep continuing a hearing?
And so yesterday, Lauren's attorney filed a motion to continue the hearing that was set for tomorrow. And the judge denied the motion. I think probably because we'd already started the hearings, and Christina had to wait almost a month in order to have her rights restored, or her rights considered, and her evidence considered. And so when the judge denied the motion to continue, Lauren asked the court to vacate the stalking order completely. Now, this is not the behavior of someone who is genuinely afraid for their safety and their security. This is not the behavior of someone who is convinced that their physical safety is at risk. This is my opinion, which I am absolutely entitled to. My opinion is that she dismissed this case because she didn't want Law and Crime to make her shenanigans public. I also think she did it because she knew that she didn't have a chance of winning, continuing that stalking order. Just like Jeanette Braun doesn't have an ice cube's chance in hell of keeping that stalking order in place against Ian Runkle.
Oh, I started watching Runkle's coverage on that. I sure did.
Bing bang.
So there are a couple of Supreme Court cases recently that talk about just these kinds of online behavior. And one of them, the Supreme Court heard a case called Counterman versus Colorado. In that case, Mr. Counterman sent hundreds of Facebook messages to a local female singer. He'd never met her. The singer didn't know who he was, and she didn't respond to any of his messages. He even posted messages where he contemplated that some kind of harm was going to befall her. He was clearly stalking her. As a result, the singer stopped going to places alone, declined engagements, canceled performances, those sorts of things. And she finally reported the contact to the police when he started actually making threats of violence. The police arrested him, charged him, and he was found guilty. He claimed that the messages were protected First Amendment speech. The Supreme Court considered the case. They were considering cases like Counterman's under the
I want to keep listening to this. I know it can get a little mundane for some people with all this lawyer mumbo jumbo, but I'm here for it. Perry, I think because of reputation and the amount of followers.
The test that something is a true threat. So the Supreme Court looks at those instances and wants to know if there's a true threat. A true threat, the Supreme Court has defined a true threat as a serious expression conveying that a speaker means to commit an act of unlawful violence. In cases like that, you cannot hide behind free speech. But even in a case where a true...
JC, do you have that link? I would love that link, JC.
Threat.
Or if you can tell me where I can find that, like what the title is or something.
Serious expression conveying that a speaker intends an act of unlawful violence. Even in that case, the state still had to prove that the defendant had some subjective understanding that his statements were threatening and that he was consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustified risk to the victim. That's what the Supreme Court says. The reason for that is because bans on speech have the potential, this is a quote, to chill or deter speech outside the stalking ban. So the U.S. Supreme Court has said that even in a case where there's a threat of true violence, a true threat, that there has to be more. You have to be able to show that the defendant knew that his conduct was going to have an impact on the listener, on that person. So the impact on the Counterman case is that Christina would have had to know and consciously disregard a substantial and unjustifiable threat in order to be proven to be a threat. And that only applies if the conduct could be considered a true threat of violence. Posting videos about someone being a bad friend doesn't rise to the level of a true threat. Posting a video about somebody saying that they're not a nice person does not equal a promise to commit an act of unlawful violence, a threat to commit an act of unlawful violence. So Lauren made an awful lot of the complaint that Christina was trying to interfere with her business by ruining her reputation. That's not stalking. And that the remedy for that is not in a stalking petition. Protecting someone's commercial reputation is not the job of a stalking order. Whether good or bad, whether your reputation is good or bad, it's earned. If you behave in a way that reflects poorly on your character, you can't insist that the law protect you when people point it out. In other words, you can't get a stalking order against someone for posting a bad Yelp review. And that's what this is the equivalent of.
You know, she's really right. I mean, all the TikToks, we watched them yesterday. If you missed the live stream yesterday, we went through every single one. We read them, etc. I would love for lawyer Lori to take a look at BJ's shit, B Tim. Thank you for the super chat. Wow, BJ should watch this part of the video. She sure should. She sure should. Show shine. Thank you, ML Marty. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you haven't hit the like, please do.
Calling Lauren Matthias out on her manipulation and weaponization of the law is not defamation and not harassment. It's protected speech. It's an opinion backed by fact. It's not harassment and it's not stalking. Telling the world, in my opinion, that Lauren Matthias is a shitty and disingenuous friend is free speech, protected under the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah, BJ, can you review Lauren, or Lori, I mean, instead of Lauren? You might learn a few things.
Is free speech, protected under the U.S. Constitution. Lauren cannot escape the consequences of her own bad choices and even worse behavior by cloaking herself in the law and declaring herself a victim. Don't get me wrong. There's no excuse for harassing somebody or stalking them. And I would never suggest that anyone contact Lauren or confront her. Please don't do that. However, I do think that people who subscribe to her channel and support her financially have the right to know the truth about what she does and who she really is.
Ooh, bing bong.
Some of the things she does are inexplicable, like using a fake sock account to post in my live chats, and even using that same account to post about me in her chats. Or
how do you know that's her, though? See, now you got to take a step back. Can you prove that sock account, here we are with socks again. Can you prove that the sock account was her? See, that's where you got to be fair on this, right? Just because she says it doesn't make it true.
Applicable, like using a fake sock account to post in my live chats, and even using that same account to post about me in her chats. Or, like tonight, going live at the same time as my live to talk about how terrified she is of her stalker. Others are calculated and downright vicious, like undermining the success of my book by or taking snips of things I said out of context and circulating them to the families of crime victims and other creators. Let's be clear. Everything Lauren Matthias is experiencing is the consequence of her own actions. She has no one to blame but herself. Being unethical, hypocritical, and greedy, in my opinion, will eventually put you right where she is. I'm sure having people call her out and hold her accountable is very uncomfortable.
I just want to say, Crimes, you have to get a subpoena to get IP addresses from YouTube. So you would have to have an ongoing lawsuit. You can't just trace IPs from the comment section. We learned that when At Night filed the RICO against Granny's Watching, right?
Comfortable for her. It would be for anyone. But that's not a justification to waste precious court and law enforcement resources while trying to cloak yourself in the law and claim victimhood. That's lawfare. Do better, creators. Do better, Lauren. So, I'm going to take some questions. I will take questions.
She's going to take. Hold on. I want to find that other video. Or that picture, I mean.
Sorry. I clicked myself right out of being able to see the feed.
Here's the picture in the bar.
I'm going to take some questions. I will take questions about defamation, about stalking laws, and about any of the things that we have talked about. I will not take questions that personally target anyone. I'm not going to entertain. We're not going to get into a bitch session. We're not going to talk about Lauren or Jeanette Braun or anybody else directly. But I will take questions about the cases we talked about today: Adelson, Adams, Bartoloro, juvenile life without parole sentences, and I will take questions about defamation and stalking and all those things. But we're a classy chat, and we're not gonna get into the business of name calling or calling people out publicly. I've done enough of that tonight. I want you to know that everything I have said is supported by the public record. Everything that I have said happened in court and is in public court documents.
The guy? I don't know.
And it is as a
and
I am still
I don't know
a
who that guy
member
is.
of the Oregon Bar. I am still, in my opinion, an officer of the court, and I still feel a responsibility to talk about and to bring to people's attention when the law is being misused. When I was actively practicing and somebody would come to me and they would say, I got a restraining order. And I would say, oh, you did? How can I help you with that? Well, he filed for a hearing and I need somebody to represent me in the hearing. Let's talk about the circumstances of the restraining order. Well, nothing really happened, but I said it did because I want.
Who's Megan Connor? I don't even know who that is.
Custody of the kids. Sorry, I can't represent you. Sorry, don't do that. I'm not going to. So I don't believe in misusing the law.
Hi, Kalina. Your name is so pretty.
People who genuinely are afraid for their safety, who are genuinely being stalked by people like Vincent Battaloro and people who mean them harm. People like the guy in the Colorado case who's threatening a singer. I mean, we need to remember that those exist out there for a reason. We don't want to water that down. We don't want to waste a judge's time. And we absolutely do not want a judge to get so jaded about people's intentions that they overlook when a true domestic violence situation happens. When I practiced in Portland, there was a woman judge, and she was one of the first women on the bench in the Portland metro area. And she once told a story about a woman who came to her for a restraining order and who she denied.
Bye, Lindsay. Have a good day.
She didn't believe the woman had the basis for a restraining order, primarily because she didn't believe the woman. And 2 days later, the woman was killed by her abuser. And that haunted that judge for the rest of her life. She became a real advocate for family violence interventions.
Wait.
But it haunted.
I'm looking at this picture. Is this Trisha Griffith?
Official, official explained what time he took it, when he took it.
This says it was taken September 5th at 10:17 p.m. Someone in the convention in the bar took the picture and sent it to Lauren. She was none the fucking wiser. The girl could have taken her fucking picture, went back with Anjanette Levy. I think she was mad that she was hanging with Anjanette Levy. Do you think that's Trisha? Kind of looks like her hair's up. Oh, Lana K, I agree with that 100%.
Okay, why he took it, that it was unaltered. And if we come across that, I'll read it because I want to read everything here because that's what this live is for. So additionally,
Kimberly?
Then on Sunday, September 7th, at Crimecon, while I was seated in the bar area for lunch, I observed the respondent again being escorted by someone to the restaurant located directly behind me. Once again, she was within less than 500 feet of me, in direct violation of the injunction. Her continued proximity placed me in fear for my safety and further demonstrated her disregard for the court order. On Wednesday, September 10th, one of the respondent's associates, and you can make it bigger now, maybe, or, yeah, I think you're good.
Oh, Jesus.
On Wednesday, September 10th,
oh, Jesus.
one of the respondents.
Hold on. Hold on. We don't want to see you up close and personal like that. Okay, so here's the picture. This is Grayson right here, right?
Bigger now.
This is Grayson. This is Lauren. Who's this guy? Is that Nate Eaton? Is that Nate Eaton's head right here? I don't know who this is. Whoops. And then we go over here. This is Christina that's circled right here. And I'm wondering who this woman is. Right there. But there's the socks. Looks like, who? I don't know. St. Elmo's, all I know is that Lori appeared on the show for a year as a legal expert. That's all I know. I don't know anything else about it. But at this point, they called the police. Oh, I don't know if that's Nate and his wife. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who these people are. Oh, geez. Hold on. Let's make that smaller. All right, let's finish listening to Lori.
Her forever. And that's something you can't go back and undo. So
it was a guy friend of Lauren. She didn't say who. She just said a guy friend saw that the stalker was close, took the picture, and sent it to her. It's a bunch of shit stirrers, man. Fuck Crimecon. Crimecon is the crime.
So we don't want judges who get so jaded and so casual because they hear it all the time, and people are coming in and just spewing bullshit to get orders to get back at people. We don't want judges that get to the point where they never believe anybody, because there are people out there that these orders are saving lives. So I get really passionate about, let's not abuse the legal system to get what we want. Let's not file things and make people rack up big attorney fees in order to get what we want. Let's not use the law to intimidate and beat down other people. Let's use the law to lift up people and protect the innocent and protect the vulnerable. let's not use it as a weapon. And that's what's being done. That's what's being done by a lot of
Thank you,
creators.
Nicole.
So I'm happy to answer questions and to air comments as long as they are not personal. Oh, good question, Tiff. Do we have any federal stalking laws? Yes and no. What we have is was originally promulgated, and it's been revised and updated as the Violence Against Women.
Okay, I think I'm good with the rest of this video. We have shared the link if you want to watch the whole thing. I have a couple things I wanted to kind of just thumb through with you guys. This
I
is
cannot believe, I always say you never know day to day what you're.
This is from 4 months ago, June 11th, 2025. This is when everything first started. And you can see she's got the matching Christina mic on. B. Tim, thanks for the super chat. So according to Lauren Logic, if the Mormon church got an RO on her because she threatened their business model, it would be cool then? Nope, I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure it wouldn't. But let's get some, thank you again, B. Tim, for all your support today and your comments. This is Lauren and Grayson in action. Because I've never seen them. Like, I didn't watch them like this. And looking at it from a different lens, just like rewatching the 9-hour live. Melmo, you got to remember that she was already traveled from Utah to Denver and was already at the convention when her husband was served back at home and sent her pictures. She was already there. She was already there. She wasn't served at home and then said, oh, fuck it, I'm going to get on the plane anyway. She was already there. She was set up. It was dirty. Okay, let's listen to this for a minute. I have no idea. This is about Lori Vallow. Lori claims no water and a judge that terrified her or terrifies her.
So just to remind you, Judge Boreski, she asked to recuse Judge Boreski. So Judge Green takes that motion because the judge can't make a decision on that if she's, saying that there's been judicial, misconduct. So Judge Green takes it over.
She looks, her face, you can tell in the live, she uses a filter. She uses a filter. She really has done a lot more than I thought. It's concerning when someone does so much to their face. Well, she was allowed to stay at the hotel, Dr. Melmo. She had permission to stay at the hotel, just not go to the function of CrimeCon, and she didn't. This was a vendetta, in my opinion. Sophia, thank you for gifting a cootership. Calvel?
Y'all welcome to Cooterville. Come on in, and remember, close your legs.
Judge Green denies her motion to recuse Judge Boreski, and so now she's trying to recuse Judge Green. You can't make this up. So Judge Green has to hand this to another judge that's not involved. And that judge is, and by the way, I have Grayson here. Grayson, my producer, is here with me. She said she'd help me go live because we're going to have to read a lot. I have middle-aged eyesight, and we have a phone, and she has young eyesight. So she's going to read a lot of this. So will you read the objection from this judge? Who's this judge?
This is, I think it's Judge Wien. It's Wein.
Okay.
And it says Rule 10.1B1 provides that a party may not file a motion after a hearing or trial begins.
She wants to be Lauren.
A jury was impaneled in the 2022 matter on June 4th, 2025. Trial in the 2021 matter has concluded. These motions, therefore, ultimately are untimely. For these reasons, defendants' request to remove Judge Green and Boreski for cause is denied.
Denied. We both smile.
What's new? She's crying. All of her motions are denied.
Denied by a third judge. So I'm thinking tomorrow we're going to get a motion, a handwritten motion requesting to recuse Judge
Wien,
Judge Green, and
Judge
Wien is going to have to pass it to the next judge. And soon we're going to have in the entire Maricopa County judge crew all denying each. It's amazing. So The cycle continues. It's so funny to me. Yeah, so all 3 judges are dark now, and she's going to have to now recuse Judge Ween next. We'll wait for that to come down tomorrow.
This is uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable.
Okay, next motion. I want to read this whole motion out loud and talk about it because guys, it's written by Lori in very fancy handwriting. She took her time, pencil, handwriting, very clear. Can you just read this and then we'll talk about each thing?
Yeah.
Because guys, this is good. So this is us reacting. This is Hidden True Crime reacts to Lori's latest antics, Lori's latest motion that came down.
Okay, so this is titled Motion to Dismiss Abusive Discretion Hearing Requested. And in the memorandum of points and authorities, it says, sorry, I'm going to zoom in.
Yeah. See, it's not just me.
USCA Constitution Amendment 14 provides that on a defendant's motion, the Maricopa County Court of Appeals or Supreme has jurisdiction in ordering the dismissal for abusive discretion in violation of Code of Judicial Conduct, Canon 1, 2, 3. God, she's been saying that a lot.
Hey, Ange.
By Judge Justin Boreski. On June 2nd, the defendant is in pain and suffering from a virus that her defense team members are ill to assist in her trial. Judge Boreski used by all means necessary to bring the defendant to his court. On June 3rd, Judge Boreski ordered CHS at MCSO Estrella to perform an evaluation on the defendant. Many tests were taken, but many tests were sent out for testing, so results were not available. On June 4th.
Pause really quickly. I want to say there were results that did come back, and he said she's not sick.
They said clinically she has one thing. Otherwise, move forward.
Yeah.
Nicole, they're talking about Lori Vallow Daybell.
Yeah, but I guess there were other test results pending. Like, what was she getting? I don't know what else besides COVID and the flu. But okay, anyway.
Well, clearly she didn't have that because she was there.
Okay.
On June 4th, the defendant was...
You know, it's funny because now I can say this. I shamefully, personally called her Lauren Daybell during her coverage of the Daybell trials because she seems like she wanted to be Lori. I swear to God, you can ask those closest to me. I called her Lauren Daybell. I think if Robat is still here, can vouch for that because we had really weird vibes about her. We talked privately about it. Not something I would have ever gone public with because everybody would have attacked me and been like, she's great. She's the queen of true crime. You're just jealous. I was never jealous. But I did think that there were some weird fucking vibes.
Again, brought to court per the request of Judge Boreski. The defendant was diagnosed with a virus. Wear your mask. MCAO Joseph Vigil for MCSO read that the defendant's
She's in jail. Wearing a mask doesn't protect you when you're in jail. Wear a mask. Like, what?
Request of Judge Boreski. The defendant was diagnosed with a virus. Wear your mask. MCAO Joseph Vigil for MCSO read that the defendant's medical record per Judge Boreski's request, violating federal, which supersedes state law. The defendant's confidential and communication between doctor-patient was intentionally violated. Intentional. She doesn't even write in the proper terms. Intentionally violated, illegally obtained without consent or waiver, per request of Judge Boreski to MCAO, MCSO, Estrella Administration, and CHS, and read to the media as well as the public. We didn't hear anything. All we heard is she is fine.
Someone just suggested she has delayed-itis.
Clearly.
I'm sorry.
Like, that's not even funny. Delay-itis? Amber, that's interesting take as well. Christina was too pretty next to her. Someone reliving their youth. I've got a really interesting clip too to play for you. Let me find it.
We didn't hear anything. I remember being like, what does she have? They're like, she has one condition. I'm like, could you give us a little more? I just want to know. Like, come on, what is it?
Right. They haven't told us anything. We've
Well,
all
we
been
get it.
speculating together. We're like, they're doing a really good job with HIPAA because we
Yeah.
don't know anything. And so, in fact, the fact that she can write in that she has a virus and none of us know if she does or doesn't pretty much shows that we have no clue.
I
Does
don't
anybody know? Because I even doubt that. I'm like, they haven't said she has a virus. They said she has a condition, which, as many of you pointed out, might be menopause. I mean, I don't even know if it's
Clearly, this virus
that.
is impacting her ability to write in the correct terms. Reading this is like reading when you're teaching a 7-year-old how to write, and you're like, it's read, not read.
Thank
It's
you,
like,
Sam.
gosh,
Thank you, Sam.
this is hard. Okay. Anyways, continue. Judge Boreski was immediately served on June 4th, 2025, as well as Chief Judge Green with a Rule 10.1. Both have multiple violations from
How does a
from
Mormon
violations
woman
of abuse
become
of discretion, altering federal laws, bias, prejudice, and Canon 123. Judge Boreski refused to remove himself. He forced the jury selection to proceed. Judge Boreski
He did force the jury selection
defendant
to proceed. He
he
did.
forced the defendant to take medication, abusing his discretion.
Okay, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
First off, heaven forbid, like, okay, you have a virus and you don't want to take medication. Like, first off, that, like, let's not even talk about like that confusing aspect of this. You know, if I had a virus and I was representing myself, I'd probably like, get me medication as fast as possible.
They're letting her carry it on herself. I don't think you get to do that. I think you might actually be able to have Tylenol in jail, but like, whatever. Like, they're giving her time. They're like giving her rights. She wants rights, and they are giving her rights, and she's complaining.
Right. They're saying you can keep the medication on you. It's up to you. Typically, that would never, ever happen behind bars, but here you go. Carry it with you. But do you remember, I want to bring up this one part because you and I both noticed this. It was before the trial began, and it was during jury selection, but the jury wasn't in, right before voir dire.
Thank you, Rachel, for subscribing. Okay, we're going to stop that. The vibe, we can agree, is strange. We're going to go back to Mormon stories for a second. To 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Hang on. It's just a short clip. Okay. Hold on. Let me fix this. All right, there we go.
And then I was born in New York City while my dad was attending Columbia Law School. It was a mistake. They already had 2 boys.
Okay, hold on. That kind of interrupted my clip. She's talking about where she was born, how she came about.
With the Romneys. I mean, there's a wide range, but I am LDS blood through and through. And then my parents met at BYU. That's how you meet. And then I was born in New York City while my dad was attending Columbia Law School. It was a mistake.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Being the youngest of 6, this struck me. Because I was told that at a time, but saying you're a mistake to a whole audience, right? Not an accident, but a mistake. Does that explain a lot to you?
Well, that's how you meet. And then I was born in New York City while my dad was attending Columbia Law School. It was a mistake. They already had 2 boys in a very small apartment in New York City. And so I came along. So I had 2 older brothers. Then we lived in Brooklyn for a while when my dad practiced. And then the family actually moved to Romania for a time. My dad had a Fulbright scholarship there, studying international law because it was a communist country at the time. It was under the dictator Ceausescu. And so a lot of stories growing up of how he had to hold me. I was a toddler at the time, in food lines in order to get food, how there were
Her dad was disbarred and went to prison? No, I didn't hear all that. This is really long, and I think there's 2 parts. So yeah. I was a mistake. I don't know. She says in here, I love my dad. We're going to get into the roller coaster of that. Her dad's a huge criminal. So then she goes on to say that her parents had 2 more boys. So she's literally sandwiched in the middle of 2 older brothers and 2 younger brothers. Hold on.
Yes.
So now, where does your Mormon story begin?
This was 3 months ago. So this would have been on July 14th. This was all part of damage control, in my opinion. The timing of everything that she's done now is sus.
So my mother is from the East Idaho area. That's where she actually was born in Hollywood, California, but she grew up in East Idaho. And my grandfather there, her father was a chiropractor and a bishop in Pocatello. And then my father is from Arizona. He was born in Casa Grande, mostly raised in Oregon, though. And long line of LDS ancestors on both sides. While my grandmother, my dad's mom, was a convert. Other than that, Paces, Johnsons, people being baptized in Kirtland. One of my great grandmothers on my mother's side has a painting in the St. George Temple of her carrying, legend has it, hundreds of people across the icy Platte River to save souls. People ask, well, where were the men? I said, they're getting owned by my grandma. And then and then on my dad's side, I even have some that actually were in the Mexican colony, I think with the Romneys. I mean, there's a wide.
The Romneys. There you go. Bing bong. Yikes. This shit. What's his name again, Tammy Clips? Jameis Johnson?
Range, but I am LDS blood through and through. And then my parents met at BYU. That's how you meet. And then I was born in New York City while my dad was attending Columbia Law School. I was a mistake. They already had 2 boys in a very small apartment in New York City. And so I came along. So I had 2 older brothers. Then we lived in Brooklyn for a while while my dad practiced. And then the family actually moved to Romania for a time. My dad had a Fulbright scholarship there, studying international law because it was a communist country at the time. It was under the dictator Ceausescu. And so a lot of stories growing up of how he had to hold me. I was a toddler at the time, in food lines in order to get food, how there were spies everywhere and they had to slip a Book of Mormon to someone underneath the table that was interested, how they had to bribe doctors with cigarettes to treat my older brother. And so there was a lot of lessons when I was younger about how important freedom of religion is and accepting everyone. And then in New York, though, too, and I love this about my parents, how they taught diversity. My dad would always teach about respect of other religions, too, while he was proud of our LDS heritage. He would always tell the story of being in this small apartment, student housing in New York City, and our neighbors were Orthodox Jews and how they helped one another. And they didn't want to operate machinery on the Sabbath. And so they would come over and they would knock, not ring the doorbell, but knock on my parents' door and say, can you come push the elevator buttons for us? And my dad would go out and push the elevator buttons for them on that Sabbath day so that they could keep their Sabbath holy. And so I was also always growing.
Okay, enough of that. Whoa, Tammy Clips. This is wild. Woo! This just took another weird turn. Let's look at this really quick before we end the stream. We've been going about 2 hours. I've taken up a lot of your Sunday, and I appreciate you being here. But this is her dad. United States versus Johnson. Can you guys see that? Jameis Johnson was convicted of 7 counts of mail fraud, 9 counts of wire fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, and 10 counts of money laundering. He appealed the denial of a motion for a new trial, challenged the sufficiency of the evidence, and alleged several instances of prosecutorial misconduct. Finding no reversible error, the 10th Circuit affirmed the district court. So this is him, and it says here, on March 18, 2009, a grand jury indicted Johnson on 38 counts of wire fraud, mail fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud and mail fraud. It also included 2 co-defendants, Ronald Haycock and Lyle Smith. The charges resulted from a scheme that ran from 05 to 07 involving loans based on artificially inflated values of residential properties. The defendants would find sellers whose homes had been on the market for a long time and convince them to enter into a joint venture agreement that would fix the price that the seller would be paid as the asking price of the home. The defendants would then recruit straw buyers with high credit scores who, for a fee, would fill out and sign loan applications. The defendants would then alter the information before giving it to the lender by changing the amounts for income, assets, down payments, etc., as well by stating that the buyers had large cash deposits with Johnson's company, Johnson and Associates. Johnson would then authorize, approve, and verify that the buyers had deposited cash assets with Johnson and Associates, even though he knew that the accounts didn't exist. Johnson disputes he provided the VODs. Holy shit. Johnson claimed to be an attorney with a New York City address. Johnson had been disbarred in Utah and Idaho in 2002. And holy shit. And had not practiced in New York for years.
For making it happen. I want to say thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marie McCraffy, for your super sticker. That is so generous of you. Holy crap. And telephone number, which when called, rang at Johnson's Salt Lake City office and used a straw buyer who had been involved in other purchases in the scheme. In fact, the New York City address was in an apartment where Johnson's son lived. Her brother. What's up, Brass Tacks? Thank you for chiming in. Thank you. And it's good to see you. Hello, Starlight. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe any of it. I'm sorry. I don't believe anything. For the sale of his own residence on Military Way, Johnson created a false real estate contract and filled out a false loan application, misrepresenting whether there was a cash deposit and whether the buyer intended to occupy the house, inflating the buyer's monthly income, and noting a non-existent cash deposit account of more than $350,000 with Johnson and Associates. Johnson also gave the underwriter a verbal verification of the cash deposit for $359, $739, and 7 cents. In short, Johnson executed the sale of Military Way property just like the others involved in the scheme. Whoa. Let's see. What did he end up getting? So he was on March 11th or March 18th, 2011. He was convicted. He was going to get a new trial. Let's see. I mean, we can read all of this one day if you guys want to. It's a lot. I just want to see if is he still in prison? Thank you, Caffeinated Duchess. One hell of a hidden true crime. Ain't it, though? Ain't it? What's this? Oh, this is his appeal. That's what we just had up. Okay. Salt Lake City man sent to prison on fraud charges. Here we go. A federal judge on Tuesday sentenced James Johnson to 5 months in prison for his conviction of 27 fraud-related charges. After crediting him with nearly 4 years he spent in state prison on a separate conviction. He was convicted twice? Okay, so he was convicted by a federal court jury in 2011 after a 9-day trial, and he has been incarcerated in the Utah State Prison for 43 months for violation of parole from the earlier conviction. Before pronouncing the sentence, The judge said a 48-month sentence was appropriate given Johnson's reduced role in the real estate fraud. But the judge reduced 48 months to 5. Two others have already been sentenced. Ronald Haycock pleaded guilty and got a sentence of 5.5 years. Lyle got 4 years, 8 months. Johnson was convicted of securities fraud in 2007 for an investment deal involving a dairy farmer who ended up losing his business. Yeah, these don't sound like good people to me. Look at men ordered back to prison for scamming farmers. Dude, scamming farmers is like scamming kids. You don't scam our farmers. God. What's wrong with people? It's not cool at all. Our farmers struggle as it is. It's like scamming a vet. You know what I mean? It's like scamming a military vet in a way. 2 men were ordered to go back to prison after prosecutors say they swindled dairy farmers out of hundreds of $1,000s and failed to follow the rules of their probation. Back in 2007, Jameis Johnson was convicted of securities fraud along with co-defendant Paul Schwenke. Paul Schwenke. Schwenke. Why does that sound familiar? Paul Schwenke. Prosecutors say they sold worthless stock. Wow. For American-Dairy.com. Some of their victims even handed over control of their land as payment. Johnson and Schwenke took in hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the judge let them stay out of prison if they worked to pay back their alleged victims, and they agreed to stay away from each other. Wow. What? Since when does someone get a sweetheart deal like that? Oh, stay away from each other, and you gotta pay them back. No accountability. No accountability. Schwenke. I've heard that name too. Instead, they went back to work with each other and didn't pay the victims shit. Oh my God.
This is fucking crazy, yo.
Dude, I'm so glad my dad wasn't a piece of shit either. My dad was a good man. Murphy said some of the land farmers handed over to Johnson and Schwenke went into foreclosure. The men took the property that they got in exchange for the stock, went to the banks, used the property as collateral, and spent all the money. Johnson will serve 1 to 15 years in prison. Schwenke won't be considered for release until 2017. We need to see where they are now. These are not good people. FBI.gov. Look at this. Look at this. Salt Lake City, June 14th, 2011. Ronald William Haycock, 63, convicted in December of money laundering. This is his co-defendant. Will spend 66 months in federal prison. Smith reached a plea agreement with federal prosecutors and is serving a 56-month federal prison sentence. He must also pay $2,384,000, $974.76 in restitution, jointly with other defendants convicted. Johnson, he's scheduled to be sentenced, In his guilty plea, Haycock admitted that in 2006 and 2007, he was an accountant and tax planner offering financial and tax services. He admitted his business, Paramount Strategies, helped investors acquire undervalued real estate. Agencies that participated in the investigation of her dad were the Davis County Attorney's Office, the Utah Insurance Fraud Division, HUD Office of the Inspector General, the FBI, the IRS, and members of the Utah Mortgage Fraud Task Force. Seems like they like to waste a lot of fucking resources. This is Lauren's daddy. Woo! That was a lot, y'all. That was a lot. Thank you for joining me today. Whoo! This is not good. Not a good history. She said her dad was legally blind, Cammie. Yeah. I don't know what that was all about. I haven't watched the whole thing. I don't think he's dead. Let me see if I can figure out something. I don't know. I don't know if he's dead, alive, still in prison. What's this? Oh, fuck. Look at this one. Okay, before we go, don't go yet. Look at this. This is from 2001, December 18th, 2001, in the matter of the discipline of Jameis M. Johnson, attorney. His attorneys were Stuart Hansen, Cameron Denning. Okay. So it says attorney Jameis Johnson was disbarred from the practice of law for intentionally misappropriating client funds. No, he wasn't. No, I don't know about him being hit. He's in prison. He was disbarred. I don't know anything about him hitting anyone with a car. Don't know anything about that. I think he's in prison. But anyways, he was disbarred for misappropriating client funds. In connection with his representation of a client, Johnson settled a case for $50,000. He deposited that money in a trust account and tendered a check in the amount of $28,800 to his client for its share of the settlement. Upon receiving the check, the client told Johnson it was going to return it to him because he did not have the authority to settle for $50,000 without the client's consent. Disbarred. That's crazy. And now brother's an attorney. Yep. And those are Lauren's 4 attorneys are from her brother's wherever he works. I don't know where he works, but it is weird. It is weird. Right. Well, it could be the farming thing, Kat. I don't know. Disbarred in prison. Okay, so maybe we all need to watch the Mormon stories. He's not in prison? Oh, well, he was, lily pad. We ain't lying. He was. He was also disbarred. Doesn't sound like a very stand-up man to me. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. You guys form your own opinions. Do not contact anyone mentioned in these podcasts and reviews. Yeah, I don't care about her medical history. For real. He was, yeah. We just looked at the court documents. And when you fuck with farmers, that's pretty low. Alec Murdaugh facing stealing from clients. Yeah, he's a crooked motherfucker too, isn't he? All right, guys. Well, I am out of here. I got things to do. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great afternoon. Let's run our credits. What do you think is a good go out song today? I got any requests? Thank you for your support today, too. Do I have any requests? Oh, I'd love to pull up some CrimeCon footage, too. From when they were all there, you know? See if we can see people in the background. Bye, Beware Marching Band. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Oh, easy like Sunday morning. How about you were Lily Pad? You were there with her? With who? Lauren? Did you see the ridiculousness go down? Dal Girl, welcome to Cooterville.
She says, welcome to Cooterville. Everybody close your legs. Everybody coming in, close your legs.
Close your legs.
All right, guys, we're going to roll our credits. Let's get in the Cooter DeVille is what we do here. If you're new, you will figure it out. The devil drives a Cooter DeVille. I saw the dreadlocks over the hill. Not against her will. Have a great day. Have a great MFN day. Have a great day, guys. I'm sorry the credits didn't work. Thank you so much.